Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Everybody please rise for the invocation by Pastor Frank Dragonic of the Harvest Community Church of the Nazarene. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council people. Just wanted to say it is an honor to come do this. It is a pleasure of ours as one of the pastors in Lincoln Park, and we just think it's awesome. We think it's awesome that you all honor prayer in your meeting, so I want to thank you for that. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time that you've given us together. We thank you for the people that you've appointed to watch over our cities. And God, we just ask that all of the words be said, be honorable to you, that you'd give us wisdom and insight on the decisions that need to be made. And we just appreciate it. We appreciate the city that you've given us. Help us to take care of it well, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
For the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, can you call the roll?
Certainly. Councilpersons Bear?
Here.
Dupre? Here. Nichols?
Here.
Ross? Here. Salcido?
Here.
Zor is absent, and Mayor Tobin.
Here. Thank you. I don't have very many remarks tonight, so I won't be long. First, I want to start out by thanking Lisa Griggs and her staff. The last few weeks, well, over a month actually, have been working really hard, searching for grants, met with senators and all kinds of people, appropriations to get grants going for the city, and they have worked hard to put this together, especially Lisa. She's worked very hard.
Thank you.
So we've been able to hit the deadlines and put out a lot of grants, so we have to wait and see what happens, but we have worked really hard on that, and Lisa's and her staff has done a really excellent job along with the department heads. So thank you, and thank everybody.
You're welcome.
I also want to thank our first responders. They were out and they assisted in the tragedy in Southgate when the house blew up. Thank you for everything you do. I spoke with Mayor Kuspa of Southgate and let him know that Lincoln Park stands with Southgate at this tragedy, and he thanked us for standing behind them on this, and just keep everybody, the family, their friends, the neighbors, the neighborhoods involved, and the whole city in your thoughts and prayers. I know it's horrendous over there. So, and the Exchange Club held their annual Easter egg hunt yesterday. It was a great success, like it always is. I want to thank the Parks and Rec Department for joining forces with the Exchange Club. They supplied all the Easter eggs this year. There were a lot, and those kids are just the best to watch. They are adorable. The little ones are amazing, and it was just a great time. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for that. And I have a proclamation here I'd like to read.
Will Carrie read it, or did you want to read it?
I'm going to read it. Okay. Proclamation honoring City Clerk Carrie Kerr for outstanding service, professional achievement, and dedication to the community. Whereas the City of Lincoln Park takes great pride in recognizing exemplary individuals whose professionalism, dedication, and service uphold the integrity of our local government and enrich the lives of our residents. And whereas City Clerk Carrie Kerr has consistently demonstrated excellence in her role, exemplifying the highest standards of public service and administrative leadership. And whereas the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks is an esteemed organization that promotes the professional development and education of clerks across the state, offering certification through its Michigan Professional Municipal Clerks MIPMC program. And whereas Carrie has met the rigorous standards of this program and has earned her Level 2 MIPMC certification, reflecting her extensive knowledge, professional growth, and steadfast commitment to the clerk's profession and to the people of Lincoln Park. And whereas under the leadership of the city clerk's office, she continues to deliver a wide range of essential services to the community, including but not limited to maintaining all city council records since June of 1921, providing birth and death certificates, and ensuring compliance with licensing requirements of dog ownership, garage sales, business operation, food trucks, and various specialty vendors. And whereas the clerk's office, under Carrie's direction, also plays a critical role in administering all elections, including school district elections, and upholds the city's commitment to fair, accurate, and impartial electoral processes while providing accessible voter registration to all eligible residents. Whereas Carrie's leadership and dedication ensures that every resident who interacts with the clerk's office receives timely, transparent, and professional service, contributing to the trust and confidence placed in our local government. Now, therefore, I proclaim it that I, Maureen Tobin, Mayor of the City of Lincoln Park, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Lincoln Park, do hereby recognize and commend City Clerk Carrie Kerr for outstanding service, her well-earned Level 2 MIPMC certification, and her continued commitment to excellence in public service.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Speech.
No speech. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's move on to the consent agenda. Be it resolved, the items listed under the consent agenda be approved as presented to the mayor and council. A, approved minutes, regular meeting, March 24th, 2025. Approved minutes, special meeting, March 24th, 2025. Approve accounts and claims payable. D, solicit bids, playground mulch. E, participation, residential rehab blight remediation. No, 2. F, attend training, hazmat, fire department. G, attend training, homeland security, fire department. H, approve renewal, 2025 used auto dealership.
I'll move.
Support.
Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're going to go into a public hearing.
Yes.
Or just call them.
Just call them.
Okay, we're going to go into the public hearing, DWSRF and CWSFR 2026 project plan. Hennessy Engineers.
Jim's not here, it's Cal.
And we're going to introduce Cal Hanna and Mr. Kazoo.
And for those of you out in the audience, Lisa is circulating a sign-in sheet. If you wouldn't mind signing it, we need that for Eagle's benefit after this meeting is over. Thank you.
I'll give it to him. Have one of your workers help you out.
Good evening, Mayor Tobin. Good evening, City Manager Lisa. Good evening, City Council members and Lincoln Park residents. So, my name is Kyle Hanna. I work with Hennessy Engineers. I'm presenting the 2026 project plan for clean water and drinking water state revolving fund. This is a project has been going on for a while now. I think everybody here is familiar with it. The City of Lincoln Park, on that team for the project plan is Lisa Griggs and John Kazoo and many of DPS staff. From Hennessy Engineers is James Hollingsworth. He's my boss, project manager. And me, project team, Kyle Hanna, and we have various construction observation staff. So the overview of the DWSRF, I'm not gonna read one by one. It's like, as we said, it's like a drinking water fund, state revolving fund by the state of Michigan. and we will address is the drinking water quality problems for the drinking water, and for clean water is for the sanitary sewer, state revolving fund, and also we're gonna address the issue City of Lincoln Park with its aging sewer system. So, although this is a program is a loan and it's interest low interest loan from the state of Michigan, it's typically 2% interest. City of Lincoln Park last year it was has severely overburdened status. This year it looks like it's coming to overburdened status. This status comes by the state of Michigan. So this program is to assist the funding for the distribution system improvement for the drinking water and for water main and lead water service replacement. The project plan also we are combining both projects like the drinking water and clean water together at the same time. It should be submitted by May 1st to the state of Michigan, 2025. This project will be ranking in August by the state of Michigan, so because not only City of Lincoln Park is submitting this, many other cities, so they're going to be ranking this by August. We know if we're going to qualify these projects, the City of Lincoln Park project for the State of Michigan Revolving Fund. For drinking water quality problem to be addressed on this project 2026, we'll focus on lead and copper rule changes with by the state of Michigan. This has been changed on June 2018, and it should be all the lead and galvanized water services should be removed and replaced with copper. And before, as you know, it was the city side only being replaced. For this rule in June 28, 2018, now we have to go all the way to the resident homes, 18-inch inside the structure of the resident homes. The quality problem, this should be by the state now, they require by 2034, like 10 years from now, they want to be all lead service to be replaced, all lead and galvanized. Actually, before it was 20 years, but EPA requires now 10 years from 2024. So then it's going to be in 2034. We did DSMI, which is a distribution system material investigation from last year, and we submitted that by October 15, 2024. And we come out almost 2,600 houses they have lead service. So that's mean 265 leads should be replaced per year by minimum to get the 2034 requirements, EPA requirements. The project plan also for water main, it's also focused on water main replacement. Current water main is very old, been built in 1930 and 1940. It already has calcium built up in the lines, and that will be prone to breakage, and will also give the amount of water that be able to move through the pipe, and resulting in low pressure. So the proposed drinking water projects for until 2026, they are 7 projects, 7 streets, and I think the map that you have is the big map, the 11 by 17. It shows these streets, and also is going to be the lead service. The lead service replacement is going to be in various locations in the city. But also on the water main replacement, we're gonna also address that and gonna replace any lead service with copper. About the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, this fund will help the city to investigate the sewer system by funding the sanitary sewer cleaning and CCTV investigation, also smoke testing, and sanitary sewer rehabilitation using the cured in place pipelining method. And also for 2026, we are adding the retention basin rehabilitation. This would be the installation of the new the new pumps that have been ordered already by the city and the new generator. The city of Lincoln Park has an old sanitary sewer system. It was installed in early 1900. The city has received an administration consent order for the overflow of the retention basin to the Acres River. Sanitary sewer surcharge for that in wet weather condition as the sewer is deteriorating with time. That causes also basement flooding. So as the part of this loan, the city may be eligible for grant or for loan forgiveness. In 2024, the city had a grant for almost 19 million in drinking water state revolving fund and 16,305,000 for clean water. In 2025, it has 4,608,000 grants and 6,912,000 low interest loan for the drinking water projects. The city is, as I said, is overburdened community, and it can be approved for loan forgiveness and qualify for also a 30-year loan. The map you have there for the proposed clean water service state revolving fund projects, and it's going to be sanitary sewer cleaning, smoke testing, and this to identify the area of infiltration and inflow for the system. We're going to do sanitary sewer rehabilitation because the 2024 there was funding grant for the sewer cleaning. And from that project, and it's keep going till now, we identified more than 20,000 linear feet of sewer that has cracks and has a very bad rating, which is rating 4 or 5 by the poor condition considered for the city sanitary. So we're gonna do that project this in 2026. And then also we do retention basin rehabilitation with cost estimate of 9,702,000. Total is going to be 14,789,250. That's only the sewer procedures, the clean water sewer state revolving fund. So with no action to these, to like the city, if they have no action for like the drinking water, that's mean the water system. It's going to be frequent main breaks and water continue to deteriorate. There's going to be disruption of service to the residents and commercial properties. There's going to be also more costly repair to be paid by the city fund. Additional manpower also by the public service staff. And also this important thing is non-compliance with the current lead and copper rules by the state of Michigan. For the clean water state revolving fund, if doing nothing, that will continue the basement flooding and system backup, disruption to service for residential and commercial properties. That will end up impacting public health due to sanitary sewer flow backup into homes. All project might receive Eagle principal forgiveness, and due to the law, full service replacement would take place for the lead copper rules. On all these projects will be funded by the state. For the timeline, we submit that on last year on November 1st as required by the state. We submitted draft plan for comments on March 19th. We have 15 days from when submit that comments, and actually it's more than that now. And today is going to be public hearing and the resolution adoption for the project plan. This project plan should be submitted, the final plan should be submitted by May 1st, 2025. As I discussed before, the summary of cost for the drinking water is going to be $12,120,000. For the clean water, like sanitary sewer, is going to be $14,789,250. These projects are also, like this cost also including the construction, inspection, and the quality control. The city has approximately 15,100 customers using the water distribution system. That's with the cost of the water system improvement for this project plan. We anticipated to be paid $727,178 per year. That will end up $48 per year for each resident for the equivalent, like for home. So user account is going to be $48 per year or $4 per month. These was going to reduce a lot if a grant or principal forgiveness being awarded. For the sanitary sewer system improvement in 2026 project plan, we anticipate to be paid $887,328 per year. With that, will go to $60 going to be per year per user account, or $5 per month increase from what they're paying now. So the next step is to submit the final project plan by May 25th, 2025, and the approval project and the priority list is going to be published by August 2025 by the state of Michigan. Construction schedule, if the city approved for these projects and for the funding, we anticipate the closing would be on January 2026, and the construction will start in June 2026 for both projects. There are some social environmental impacts, which is really not that impacting a lot, because the benefit of these projects are much more than the positive than the negative thing, and you have it there in your binder there. So, any questions?
Through the chair, Your Honor. Come on. Thanks for your report. Just a couple quick questions.
Sure.
In regards to 265 lead lines per year, that doesn't start this year, does it?
No, this is actually started. So as I said in the beginning, it was up to 2041. That's what the state wanted.
Right.
But then last year, I think around October, EPA required by 10 years only to be addressed.
So there is lead replacement going on right now.
Yes, there is, yeah,
So
sure.
you want target for 265 this year? And you want
It's gonna
target,
be-
I mean,
No, actually, this year we have more than 900. That's a replacement. Because of the funding we have of 2024, which was a grant, that will be great, and
Fantastic.
We have two projects going on now, one for 600 and one for 300, and maybe it's going to be more than that too.
So I'm moving forward on that. In regards to getting preparation, you have to call Miss Dig and stuff, and they put the flags down, find out
Sure.
everything's good, and you have to
Sure.
coordinate with the sidewalks. They'll be done after that too, right?
Sure, yeah, actually, when we put these projects, we try to put them before any improvement to the roads. So if you see the projects which is going on for the street improvement, most likely if it's in the project plan, it's gonna be the one has already been done by the lead service, and then we do the road improvement.
Last question, and it's an open question, but had this work been done in the 70s and maybe early 80s, we wouldn't be here today, perhaps, right? Does that make sense?
For sure, yeah.
Infrastructure was aging maybe in the 70s, early 80s, but now we're acting now, and unfortunately, the residents may have to pay an extra brunt of it.
I agree.
Unfortunately, other communities are feeling the same pressure, aging infrastructure, but at least we're addressing it now. That's right?
That's correct, sir, that's correct. As I said, the positivity of this project is much more than the negative of it.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
So if we go with this tonight, and we aren't given any grants, if we aren't awarded anything, what happens then?
So in 2025, the state said, okay, we're gonna give you, it was 12 million, and they say, okay, we're gonna give you 4 million and a half, I think, and the rest, and actually they would give another 2 million as like a loan, and then they said the rest, which is about 4 million, they said the city should be paid for their own fund. But what happened after, like, let's say they submit this to other cities, many cities didn't have the funding to pay from their own fund. So many of the cities pulled out from the projects, from this funding, and the city was lucky enough to get everything under loan, like low interest loan. So that's helped the city a lot for 2025. For 2026, I predict it's gonna be almost the same, but to tell you the truth, as we heard, like there's not a lot of money available now like before, like what we see in 2024 or 2025, you know. So hopefully they're gonna agree, at least give us like some of that money, and it's up to the city if they wanna go forward with that or not, so.
Thank you.
So through the chair, if I could, Mr. Hannah, so what you're saying is that the possibility, though, exists for the residents to have to pay like $9 a month
Yes.
for this project, right?
Yes.
For 2026?
Yes, extra, yes.
Okay.
Extra what they're paying now, so this is increase. Increase
Okay.
another $9 or $4. And so actually it was $4 and $5 a month.
Right, so another $9 a month?
Yes, if you go with both projects, yes.
Yeah, okay. I just want the residents to be prepared in case we have to do that.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
Through the chair, one final question, if no one else, council. In regards to, as everybody knows, we get these letters in the mail about getting your line fixed from the house, right?
Yes.
If you guys do the lead replacement line, is that warranted where I don't need that insurance no more because you guys did it, should be good for 5 years or 10 years or?
So these are projects as for lead service replacement. We usually, the contractor usually warranted the work for 1 year. Now, it's a new project, like I don't know if you know, like any house, he won't use, like, he don't do any digging for the water services, you know.
Your dryer's warranted for a
it's-
year, right?
Yeah, but the contractor is with the work quantities by
So
year.
you may still need that insurance for future protection. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it'll be like a 5-year guarantee. Once we replace this lead line, you're good to go.
Yes, I think it should be good, you know, but if the homeowner wants like more protection, he can do that.
Thank you.
Yes. For public here, anybody from the public submit any questions? Because because we've been there for more than 15 days now. So they supposed to, if anybody have any questions, do you have any? Kelly, did anybody?
Nobody submitted any to
Yes.
our office,
Okay.
so unless somebody tonight has something they want to ask.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adjourn this meeting and reconvene the regular meeting.
Arbor Day. You want me to read it? This is my resolution. So this resolution is generally moved by the mayor and supported by the full council. Is everybody comfortable with that? Or-
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So whereas the city of Lincoln Park has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue to be recognized as such, and whereas in 1972, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas a healthy environment is the cornerstone of a thriving community and vigorous local economy, and whereas state and local communities can lead the way in taking steps to protect and preserve our natural resources by encouraging the planting and maintenance of trees, along with encouraging the protection of our vital natural resources, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide a habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and beautify our community. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lincoln Park Mayor and Council do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the city of Lincoln Park and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Councilpersons Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
And Bear.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on, adopt DWS. You want me to read this?
Hi. I can read it. Sorry, I thought Sean was.
Let me get to it now.
John, you want to read this?
Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens. To go along with what the public meeting that we just went through, subject, adopt a final project plan document for the 2026 drinking water and sanitary sewer system improvements. Background: on April 14th, 2025, the public meeting was held to discuss the 2026 drinking water and sanitary sewer system improvements. The project plan documents were presented, all public comments and considered and addressed, and the City of Lincoln Park agrees to implement the project plan document. Final impact: none at the present time. Recommendation is recommended that the Mayor and Council adopt a proposed resolution as requested. If you would like, I can read.
Whereas the City of Lincoln Park recognizes the need to make improvements to the existing wastewater collection system and pump stations and existing drinking water distribution system. The City of Lincoln Park authorizes Hennessy Engineers Incorporated of Southgate, Michigan to prepare a project planning document which recommends the construction of the drinking water projects consisting of the replacement of existing water mains along 7 specific project areas and all non-lead water services on the city side and all lead galvanized water service lines from the main to 18 inches inside the building of all properties and 450 lead services in various locations throughout the city. The sanitary sewer project consisting of smoke testing, cleaning, and CCTV DWSFR investigation of the sanitary sewer system to identify the infiltration and inflow in the system, rehabilitation of the sewer segments using cured in-place pipeline for poor structural segment rating and the retention basement improvements. Whereas said project planning documents was presented at a public hearing held on April 14, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. and all public comments have been considered and addressed. Now therefore be it resolved that City of Lincoln Park formally adopts said project planning document and agrees to implement the selected alternative mentioned above for the drinking water and sanitary sewer collection system. Be it further resolved that the DPS Director, a position currently held by John Kazoo, is designated as the authorized representative for all activities associated with the project referenced above, including the submittal of said project planning documents as the first step in applying to the State of Michigan for a Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan to assist in the implementation of the selected alternative.
I'll move.
Support.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes. John, you're next.
If I could, I'd like to ask for 1 second. I think I left one sheet over at my chair.
You want me to read it?
I'd like to first check and see if it's in this pile of papers.
You can take mine if you want, John.
Now, if one of you would give me the courtesy, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. This particular item is a proposal for engineering services, Champaign Avenue, I-75 to Fort Park. And that particular project was, that grant was implemented back in 22, and it's slated to go out for bid through the State of Michigan MDOT letting process, or bid proposal process, in May. And the work is scheduled to start in June, when the schools are closed for the summer, and be completed before the first football game, we hope, in the fall. Anyways, Hennessy Engineers has provided proposal to provide the engineering services to the 2025 MDOT LAP Road Rehabilitation Project for Champaign I-75 to Fort Park. The specific breakdown of the fees is contained in the attached quotation from Hennessy. Final impact cost of Hennessy Engineers is not to exceed $207,144.55. Fees are to come from account number 202-480-821-000. My recommendation that the Mayor and Council authorize the construction management costs associated with this project.
Be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council hereby approve the construction services fees as proposed by Hennessy Engineers Incorporated for the MDOT LAP project on Champaign Avenue from I-75 to Fort Park as specified in the Hennessy Engineering Incorporated proposal dated May 29, 2024, amount not to exceed $207,144.55. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and the City Council authorize the funds to be taken from capital account 202.480.82100.
Move.
Support.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
The next item that I have before you is HydroCorp Stage 2 DBPR Compliance Monitoring Program Contract Extension for 2025 and 2026. And the budget year of 2026 through budget year of 2027. Background, HydroCorp has offered to extend their contract for the next 2-year period to assist City of Lincoln Park in complying with the United States Environmental Protection Agency, U.S. EPA, Stage 2 disinfectants and disinfections bypass rule, DBPR, compliance monitoring program. Water samples must be collected at 2 different pre-designated sample locations on 8 different separate events during a 2-year calendar period. The project cost is $1,476 per sample event, $72 more than the previous budget year. The contract is renewable and may be extended year to year. HydroCorp is the sole service provider for this program in our area. Financial impact, the total cost for the 2-year contract period is not to exceed $11,808 to come from Water Contractual Service account 592-920-818-000. Recommendation is to recommend that Mayor and Council authorize HydroCorp's 2-year contract extension to assist City of Lincoln Park in complying with required Stage 2 DPBR regulations.
The mayor and city council authorize the 2-year contract for HydroCorp to assist the City of Lincoln Park in complying with the mandate United States Environmental Protection Agency Stage 2 Disinfectant and Disinfection Byproduct Rule DBPR Compliance Monitoring Program, as they are the sole provider. Be it further resolved that the total cost of the 2-year contract is not to exceed $11,808 and will come from the Water Contractual Service account 592-920-818-000.
I'll move.
Support.
Discussion?
I have a question. John, the 2 sites that have been selected, do I assume that they've already been notified?
They have, because they've been selected back in 2013.
Oh.
And this is something that has been in place since 2013. And what I'd like to do is expand maybe on your question and offer this. I believe it was at our last council meeting, you had HydroCorp that came here to do inspection for homes and backflow preventers. And the other thing was the same thing for the commercial district, let's call it. Mm-hmm. This is different. This is a testing. So separate that from what I'm going to describe to you now. This is a byproduct of the chlorine that is in our drinking water, and it produces, I don't know the proper, it's another, I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry. With the chlorine in our water, EPA is required to make sure that we don't receive, or anybody else in the nation, when you put the chlorine in with the water, it'll create a total, and I'm going to have a tough time with this, it's a byproduct, I'm going to call it, of methane. And also a halo exceedance acids. This is something that hasn't happened, but this is something that the EPA since 2013 has seen in approximately 1%. So they're making the city go through these tests. And we're not the only ones. It's every municipality over a populace of, I think it was 23,000, have to go through this. So there's quite a few of us here in the state and rest of the nation that have to go through this. And of course, there is a cost associated with that, as you just heard.
Well, better be safe than sorry, right?
And it is mandated. So we don't have much of a choice.
Thank you.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Kizner.
Appreciate it.
Yes, this is you.
So, recently, the city clerk's office has seen an increase in the number of residents that are requesting that fees be waived for their service dogs. Only what we're discovering is that most of these dogs really are not service dogs, they're emotional support dogs or therapy dogs. And there is a huge difference between the two, three different types. A service dog is an animal who is trained to perform a task for a handicapped or person in need, a specific task, like alerting them if the doorbell rings, or assisting them to cross a street, or something like that. An emotional support animal is a dog that helps you when you're feeling anxious, calm down. I think most people would agree that almost everybody's dog will do that for them. They'll come and cuddle you and make you feel better when you've had a lousy day at work. They'll lick your face and the world will be fine. I think it's important to distinguish between the two. And with dog licensing season coming up, I wanted a clear-cut line of where we stop waiving fees, just so that I cannot have arguments with people over whether they have a service dog or a emotional support dog, whether they should have their fees waived for them. So, their presence alone isn't really enough to qualify them as a quote-unquote service animal. So, the resolution reads, whereas the City of Lincoln Park requires that no person shall own, keep, possess, or harbor a dog over the age of 6 months in the city without first obtaining a license therefore from the clerk. And whereas the mayor and council recognizes that service dogs perform a quantifiable task to ease the challenges associated with their owner's disability, while emotional support and therapy dogs are not expected to perform such specific tasks. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city clerk is authorized to waive license fees for service dogs that perform a quantifiable task for their owner.
I'll move.
Support.
And I have a question.
Sure.
This does not mean that they do not register it and
No.
get the license. They're just not paying for
The
it.
people who have service dogs that perform a quantifiable task have to come in with their rabies certificate to show us that the dog has had their shots, and then we waive the fee. They still get a license and they still get a tag, but we do not charge them for that.
Thank you.
Okay? They qualify under the ADA as a service animal. So we will continue to do that. We have done that for a number of years, and we will continue to do that for those service animals.
Thank you.
Who's the chair, Rana? Oops.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you pointed someone in the audience. Do you get a certificate for a service dog? Does it need special training? Or I can just tell you that this is my service dog, here's the
Does
rabies
need-
shots, I get it.
It does need special training. They don't necessarily have a certificate, but there are questions that we will ask the dog owner to determine whether the dog is performing a quantifiable task that assists them with their disability, or whether the dog is just there to make them feel good.
Can you specify what quantifiable means? What?
It has to be something specific. The dog has to be trained to alert them if there's the doorbell's ringing, so someone who's hearing impaired, the dog would alert them that the doorbell's ringing to go to the door. Someone who is vision impaired, the dog would assist them walking across the street. Someone who has seizures, the dog would alert them that a seizure is coming and get them to a place where they could sit down or lay down in a safe spot. Those animals are trained and go through rigorous training for that.
Right.
They don't just...
My last question is, so if someone tells you that this dog does all that, you don't need a certificate, you're gonna believe them?
I'm gonna believe them.
I got you, thank you,
Gonna believe them. Absolutely.
thank you.
Mr. Kudrick, would you like to say something?
Good evening, Council Richard Kudrak. Just so we understand, how much money is the dog license that these people are trying not to pay?
$10.
Thank you.
$10 if you're a senior.
Golly gee, $10. Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to add that Delta Airlines, which is 100 years old like the city, has adopted the same policy to service animals, but you can't have an emotional support animal get on an airplane with you anymore. So it's a universal policy country. It has to be cognifiable, certifiable ailment that they're servicing.
Thank you. Any other questions, discussion? Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
This one, you only read
Next one.
So this is the third and final reading of the DUI ordinance amendment that we read in its entirety last week, so it only needs to be read by title only.
Right. If there are any questions, I'm prepared to answer them now. This is the update, makes it easier in the future to comply with state law. You'll make the police department a lot happier because the more serious crimes can be charged with the convictions kept locally here instead of going to the state police and waiting 2 years, which is the current standard for the county prosecutor to come back with charges. These police here are quick. Charges go out the next day. Any questions?
Nope.
Thank you. Don't drink and drive.
Want me to read it? Or are you gonna do it? Okay. So, resolved that an ordinance to amend the codified ordinances of the City of Lincoln Park by replacing Chapter 466 and replacing it with a new Chapter 466 be given its third and final reading and be adopted by title only. The City of Lincoln Park ordains that Chapter 466, DUI, reckless driving, DWS, of the codified ordinances of the City of Lincoln Park be amended by repealing the existing Chapter 466 and adopting a new Chapter 466 by title only. The ordinance will be approved and adopted by the City Council of the City of Lincoln Park, Wayne County, Michigan on April 14th, 2025, after introduction and a first reading on March 24th, 2025, and publication after that first reading. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon adoption.
Move.
Support.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes. Moving on.
This one's mine
This
too.
is you too.
Okay, so recently there's been some confusion regarding appointments to the Dangerous Building and Code of Appeals Board. The board serves not only as the Dangerous Building Board, but also the Code Appeals Board for the City of Lincoln Park. And as such, it has to comply with state qualifications for membership on that board. So, in order to make sure that everybody understands exactly what needs to be done with this board and who qualifies to be a member of it, I would like us to put the state requirements in our ordinance, and that would require adding that wording that's in red to our ordinance so that it quantifies what licensees and board members we need to have in order to comply with the state statute. Okay? You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Resolved that an ordinance to amend the codified ordinances of the City of Lincoln Park by amending Chapter 1444.05B be given its first and second reading. The City of Lincoln Park ordains that Chapter 444.05B, Hearing Board on Dangerous Building and Code of Appeals of the codified ordinances of the City of Lincoln Park be amended as follows. And I'm going to read Part B only. Powers and duties of the board, in addition to all its powers and duties set forth in this chapter, shall act and serve as the Code Appeals Board. Therefore, composition of this board shall comply with state statute as follows. The Michigan Compiled Law 125.541C Board of Appeals. 2. A Board of Appeals shall consist of the following members appointed by the legislative body of the city, village, or township. A building contractor. B, an architect or professional engineer who is licensed under Article 20 of the Occupational Code, 1980 Public Act 299, Michigan Compiled Law 339.2001 to 339.2014. C, 2 members of the general public. D, an individual registered as a building official, plan reviewer, or inspector under Article 10 of the Skilled Trades Regulation Act, Michigan Compiled Law 339.6001 to 339.6023. The individual may be an employee of the enforcing agency.
I'll move.
Support.
Any questions?
Just real quick, just one quick question, Your Honor. In regards to the 2 members of the general public, does the mayor appoint them, or they just apply it and we okay it?
They will comply according to the Part A, where it's the mayor plus council concurrence.
Gotcha, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could. Carrie, out of these, what are we missing? Because I know we haven't had a...
We have a building contractor and 2 members of the public. I have someone who has applied who's an architect, and we have a plumber, and I think we also have an inspector. So, that have applied. They'll be appointed next
very
next
good.
meeting. We're just finishing up the background checks on them. So,
Thank you.
we will be able to have a full board
Very good.
after next meeting.
But I do like this being on our ordinance, because I know that there were, I think, only a couple people who knew that we followed the state on this. So now we all know. Thank you.
Anyone else? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tope.
Yes.
Thank you.
Evening, Chief Prince.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Lake Park Fire Department is requesting to purchase a recertified Stryker Power Pro XT Model 6500 stretcher. The stretcher is to be placed in the new ambulance in case of need of emergent transport. I'm requesting that you waive the normal bid process due to 3 quotes obtained from Stryker Pro for the Stryker Pro 6500 from state bid sources. Boundtree Medical for $17,500. Stryker for $39,087.78. That's for a new one. And Stryker for a recertified for $29,066.60. The budget impact, the cost of the Stryker Pro 6500 is $17,500. Funds will come from capital improvement 410-001-983. It is recommended that the Mayor and Council adopt this resolution for the purchase of the Stryker Power Pro XT 6500 from Boundtree of Dublin, Ohio for the price not to exceed $17,500. Any questions?
Yeah, through the chair, if I may. Boundtree, are they a pretty reputable source? Because that's a huge price difference between the Stryker itself, recertified
Yes.
at 29, you know.
Well, Stryker makes it, so they get to put the price wherever they want.
The only reason I ask is, sound auto parts, sometimes there's the price difference doesn't matter. Sometimes the price difference is a huge determining factor.
So on the bids that I requested, they were going to do a 5-year maintenance fee for it for like $600 a year. If you've seen the maintenance fee for Stryker, it's like almost $6,000.
I appreciate that. That
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Anyone else? Clerk, call the roll.
I got to read the resolution first. Whereas the fire chief is requesting funds to pay for a recertified Stryker Power Pro XT 6500, funds to be taken from Capital Improvement Program 410-001-983. Whereas the fire chief is requesting to waive the normal bid process due to 3 quotes obtained for the Stryker Pro from state bid sources, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the purchase of Stryker Power Pro XT 6500 from Boundtree of Dublin, Ohio, for the price not to exceed $17,500. Funds to be taken from Capital Improvement Program 410-001-983.
I move.
Support.
Discussion? Any more discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'm here in place of the Director this evening. So, we have a waive bid for new playscape at Ford Park. As part of the Parks and Recreation Department's capital improvement plan, we have decided to start with the removal and replacement of the play structure at Ford Park. Snyder Recreation, Inc. has provided us with a few options for the area that all fall within our budget of $50,000. This project will include the structure, delivery, installation, and excavation of the footings. We would be responsible for the removal of the existing structure and borders. The department is asking to waive the bidding process and purchase the structure from Snyder Recreation, Inc., as they are in my deal, as well as Sourcewell. The budget impact funds to come from the city's capital improvement fund, account number to be determined. It is recommended that the mayor and council approve this resolution and award the project to Snyder Recreation, Inc. for the installation of a new structure at Ford Park at a cost not to exceed $49,486.
Whereas the Parks and Recreation Department, as part of its capital improvement plan, has decided to replace the play structure at Ford Park, and whereas the Snyder Recreation Incorporated has provided the city with options for the area that will fall within our budget and will include the structure, delivery, installation, and excavation of the footings, and whereas the Parks and Recreation Department is requesting to waive the bidding process and award the project to Snyder Recreation Incorporated. Be it resolved that the mayor and council hereby authorize the purchase and an installation of a new play structure for Ford Park from Snyder Recreation Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $49,486. Funds to come from the city's capital improvement account.
Move. Support.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes.
If you want to explain, if the residents that may not aware of our 18 parks or 19 parks that we have in our city, where's the location of Ford Park?
So Ford Park is between Liberty and I can't remember the other. It's one of the wedge parks. Buckingham. It is currently our oldest play structure that is still in use. It has seen extensive use over the years and is in need of replacement. It is also our only playground that has pea gravel as its base, which is not compliant with ASTMI guidelines for safety. That's why we've decided to start with this one.
The reason why I asked is I grew up by Memorial Park, and we used to call that Buckingham Park back in the day. So that's why to clear the area. It's called Ford Park.
Yes, yep.
Thank you.
Is there a reason why you don't want to go out to bid?
So currently, Snyder Recreation is running their spring sale, so we're able to get a lot more bang for our buck on this specific playground. This playground normally costs anywhere from $60,000 to $75,000, so we're able to get a lot more play equipment in the area.
And the removal and the installation and the equipment is all falling in that $49,486?
Yes.
And what is the size of this equipment compared to what you're going to be taking out?
It is comparable in size. I don't know the exact square footage difference, but the area is going to increase. The play area overall, it's longer, basically, so the play area in general is going to go up. It also has a 360 slide on it, which is a newer amenity that is only available through Burke, and they're seeing that that's testing really well in all the new builds that are going out.
It's not going to be a smaller scope playset like we went from Council Point to that size playscape to the smaller one that's there now?
No, if anything, this one would be larger. The one currently there is just a couple of raised platforms and I believe 2 slides and only 1 activity panel. This one has substantially more in each spot.
Thank you. Anybody else? No. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
All right. Next, we have the waive bid for new playscape at Ford Park, the surfacing. As part of the Parks and Recreation Department's capital improvement plan, we have decided to start with the removal and replacement of the play structure at Ford Park. As part of this project, we will be replacing the old wooden borders with new, safer plastic borders. The current surfacing material is pea gravel and will be used as the base material under a new layer of engineered wood fiber. The cost of this part of the project will be $12,502. The department is asking to waive the bidding process and purchase the borders and surfacing material from Snyder Recreation, Inc., as they are in my deal, as well as Sourcewell. Funds to come from the city's capital improvement funds account number to be determined, and the maintenance of parks fund account number 101.704.935P00. It is recommended that Mayor and Council approve this resolution and award the project to Snyder Recreation, Inc. for the installation of borders and surfacing material at the new play structure at Ford Park at a cost not to exceed $12,502.
Whereas the Parks and Recreation Department, as part of the capital improvement plan, has decided to replace the play structure at Ford Park, and whereas part of this project will be the removal of the current wooden borders replaced with new plastic borders, and whereas the current pea gravel surfacing material we used as a base material with a new layer of engineering wood fiber on top, and whereas the Parks and Rec Department is requesting to waive the bidding process and award the project to Snyder Recreation Incorporated. Be it resolved that Mayor and Council hereby authorize the purchase and installation of the new borders and surfacing at the new play structure for Ford Park from Snyder Recreation Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $12,502. Funds to come from the City Capital Improvement Fund and maintenance of parks account.
Move.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Austin.
Austin. Okay. Let me read this.
That's right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Recently, the city went out to bid for the grounds maintenance contractor for the city. This contractor is responsible for weekly grass cuttings at the various city locations, which includes parks, city buildings, medians, and right-of-ways, pump stations, and any city-owned lots. The maintenance is performed regularly from spring through the fall each year, and in addition, the contractor is responsible for doing our spring and fall cleanup at each site, which involves the removal of branches, litter, debris, and other materials that may have accumulated during the off-season. The city received 9 bids this year. United Landscape was the lowest bidder. They are the current contractor and have been for the last few years. They were awarded the contract back in 2022. Over the years, they have demonstrated reliability to the city, quality service, and their familiarity with the properties and expectations ensures a seamless continuation of service at a competitive cost. The total contract for the 2025 season will be $286,211 for lawn services for municipal buildings and grounds, depending on the number of weeks. Actually, for 2025, the contracts would, the old one would end and the new one would start, so it would be a little bit lower then, but that's the total cost for the year. It is recommended that the mayor and council adopt the attached resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a 3-year contract with United Landscape for grounds maintenance services with an option for a 2-year extension.
Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Lincoln Park hereby award a 3-year contract with United Landscape for grounds maintenance services in the amount of $2,806 to $211 for this first year and increasing to $689 with an option for a 2-year extension. It wouldn't come out.
With a question,
Yes, yes.
what is the third year amount?
So actually, the 3rd year amount is $299,689.
Okay.
Yep. So, there is a page in there, I don't know if you saw that, but we have the breakdown each year by each
Okay.
bid that was received.
Okay.
And they were well under the other.
Okay.
Yeah, the 2026 is $295,106.06.
Can we add that to the,
The resolution?
please?
I think it should be added to, can you do?
Thank you.
Any other questions? The clerk call the roll?
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes. Resolved that the mayor and city council shall host Tuesday Tunes, a free 6-show series of concerts on Tuesday evenings from 7 to 9 at the Lincoln Park Band Shell. Be it further resolved that the concerts will be fully funded by individual and business sponsorships and donations.
I'll move.
Support.
Any discussion?
To the chair.
Yes.
I do have a couple of questions, because it says the mayor and city council. Does that mean the mayor and city council will be doing the work of hosting and putting this on?
Yes, we will host it and we will be there to mingle with the crowd, to host it. There'll be, I'll be putting the bands on. Everybody can help introduce the bands. We'll sit down and we'll work out who's available when, to do what. We will be the host of the event.
And who's handling the financial aspect as far as the collection of money and the paying out?
The donations and the sponsorships are coming in, giving them to Lisa. Lisa is taking care of that. And the finance department will be writing the checks to pay the bands, and the engineers and the bands that need it, the PA systems and that will all be handled through finance.
And I am concerned about the confusion this will create with our Thursday night city-sponsored concert series that I'm already seeing some of on social media. And I know it's too late now, because even though we have the resolution now, it's already been put out for publicity. I think it might have been a little more prudent to have this first before it, showed up in the happenings for all the residents to see. That was my only concern. I don't want people getting this confused with our Thursday night concert series.
It is Tuesdays and Thursdays, so, there shouldn't be any confusion. It says Tuesday tunes and Thursday concerts, so but we can do anything to make it more visibly aware that there's two. We're working together on this. There should be no issues whatsoever.
And does this forego the normal special permit process?
Yes.
And that's been okay through city management or Parks and Rec?
Mayor, I'm prepared to answer that.
Thank you.
When the city sponsors the function, just like the concerts in the park, they don't pull a special permits. This has already been vetted with the police department and other city departments, see if there are any problems that they foresee. But the city did the same thing, an experiment like this approximately 10 or 12 years ago, but it was privately funded and privately put on. The city said, go ahead and use the band shell on Tuesdays. We had concerts every Tuesday night through the entire summer, and it just added and implemented and incremented the concerts on Thursday night. So that's the intention, just to continue to use the band shell for the purpose it's there for.
Okay, thank you.
And finally, by the city approving it this way, it puts the city's insurance carrier on notice. Also, we're using the building another day of the week. Shouldn't affect the rates or anything else. Any other questions?
Through the chair. So you've obviously, hopefully met with the Parks and Recreation. They're okay, they're on board, since this is like a fully funded, right? It's not going to cost the city no money. And will there be food trucks?
Yes, there will be a food truck there every show, and for, I believe, 3 of them, there will be 2 trucks there, and the trucks will have all their licensing, all their paperwork will be in order, their insurance, everything will be exactly. I got the contracts from Parks and Rec to make sure that everything is done the way it should be.
Last question. If it rains, is there a makeup date in the future, or they just go inside the band shell?
Probably just go inside unless they feel that they'd rather go on a Tuesday after, if there's an opening. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Okay,
Ready?
yeah.
Councilperson Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
No.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Currently, we are wrapping up the budget. We're getting near the end, so we do plan to present that to Mayor and Council the first meeting in May. At the next meeting, I plan to schedule a study session to do that. And then we'll have the public hearing on May 27th, and then adoption would be June 9th. So part of the budget, just to prepare you, there are going to be some recommendations for additional city staffing, areas where we can make improvements to the city. So we're still running the final numbers, but it looks like we do have some room for that. And then the roads will be a topic of conversation that night as well. We've got almost the final plans for the roads that are being replaced this year. The major ones, we do have those, but there are some items to button up that we're working on with Hennessy. And then other items that I've been working on, as the mayor stated earlier, working on a lot of grant funding. The mayor's done a really good job on working with different senators' offices. So we have put in for several funding requests through Senator Peters' office, Senator Geis's office, as well as Representative Thanader's office. Those ones are being finalized now. And then we are still working on the possibilities of replacing the city's water meters for residential customers as well as businesses. We have continued conversations on that. We've met with some various individuals, so there should be some more information coming to council in the near future. And then just the final thing is just a reminder that yard waste collection did start, and so that everybody's aware they can start putting that out. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Through the chair. Lisa, is Priority, have they offered us garbage cans yet?
So the garbage cans seem to be a little bit more of a hiccup. They have been on back order. We got a few of them replaced. They were able to do a larger amount of the recycling cans that were on the list. They had a better stock on those, so we are still working through the process for the cans.
Okay.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes.
In regards to Dixon Southfield Road, the old Sears site, I see activity up there. I don't see no buildings being erected, but besides the Chick-fil-A and the car wash, has anybody else come forward in regards to wanting to be?
I have not heard of any changes, and when Andy, the building official, does his report, maybe he has something updated, but nobody's updated me on any additional plans for that.
It could be for a surprise shortly.
Possibly.
All right, thank you, that's all I have.
Through the chair, please. Lisa, on the water loss project, what's going on?
The leak detection program. So I did provide an update a few meetings back on that. I haven't got anything recent, but I can get that and update council on where we stand with that. But they are continuing to do the work. We were hoping to find a huge leak somewhere that would solve a lot of problems or help them, but as of yet, that has not happened. Yep. And then I do want to make one other comment on the public hearing that we had earlier tonight regarding the $9 per customer. So just keep in mind that that $9 is just a baseline figure that they did the calculation based on how many water customers we have, which is based on our water meters for the city. So it's not true customers, it's the meters that we service. That amount of the loan gets rolled into the rates as a whole, so there's so many factors that go into the rates. So, you know, don't expect to see it. It could be less than $9, it could be a little bit more. It's all depending on the overall rates for the system. So just keep in mind. And then if that project does happen, it'll be the 26-27 budget year, not the upcoming budget year.
Anybody else?
Through the chair, if I could again.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned that, the water rates, Lisa, okay, so the $9 we know is just those capital improvements. I know that when we do the budget, that we look at the water rates at that point.
Right.
So I know that the Great Lakes Water Authority approved a rate hike. So when we have our study, can we have some examples again?
Yes, so, yep, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And then,
Feel free to use my address.
okay. Yes, we will have a rate increase this year, not only from the GLWA's pass on, but the costs overall have gone up because you've got our costs for the system as well as those outside factors that we can't control. GLWA, DUA being, those are some of the items we can't really control, as well as our utility costs that are paid by the fund. So many factors that go in, but we do try to keep our internal costs down as much as we can, but as we know, we have many main breaks, many system failures throughout the city, so that all is part of the rate structure, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
We're going to go on now to our department head report. Come on up, Andy. Andy is our new department head in the building department. Everybody welcome Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hello. Good evening, council, mayor, residents. Thanks for having us. The building department's been very busy. As you probably have seen, we've been trying to tackle some of the blight in the city. Since I started, I've only been here 3 months, so I'm still getting to know everybody and learning all the city roads and projects that are going on. I gave you guys a packet. I'm not doing a PowerPoint, so don't have to worry about that. As you can see, there's a graph in there that does show how much the city has been, the building department's been working on code enforcement, vacant buildings, and C of Os, trying to get caught up on stuff that has slowly been brought to our attention. New projects that are going on in the city. Sears site is moving along. They are doing their civil engineering right now. They're trying to build some retention ponds so they can hold water as they're dewatering and stuff comes up. Outside of that, I mean, it's just trying to get to know everybody. Great working with the interdepartment departments. We're trying to understand how the city functions. As you can see, it's mainly a lot of code enforcement. So a lot of the building construction hasn't really started. I know we're going to be moving into a very busy time with grass and weeds and noxious, and there's quite a bunch of other blight issues we're dealing with. Dumpsters and alleyways, we're trying to get those cleaned up. We're taking it in stages. We're just trying to get everybody in the building department to buy in. We're trying to take care of our customers, which are the city residents, so I've been very hard on making sure everybody knows that a smile at the counter is very nice to see when you walk into the building department. So I'm still getting to know everything in the city, so I'd like to open it up for more questions and go from there. Does anybody have any?
To the chair. Go, Jason, go ahead.
I do recall some time ago we did update our vacant building fee structure. Is that built into your whole process? Because I know, I want to say a notice went out on vacant buildings to whoever happened to own the property. So I'm assuming it's been long enough ago that we passed that ordinance that the new fees are now being applied.
They are correct. And Councilman, let me explain. There's been some vacants that haven't been caught up to date, so we're trying to go through. There's, I think, 439 vacants in the city right now, and it takes a lot of manpower. So we're trying to make sure, put a PA out for everybody to know that we're trying to get caught up on them. So,
yeah, no, it's certainly a very tall task. Thank you.
Especially downtown. The downtown area, we're really trying to get caught up on that, so it'll take a little bit. But
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
To the chair, I just really, thanks Andy for being up here, I know you're new, so, in regards to your ordinance officers, are they assigned to certain areas of the city, or they just take phone calls and field them in that regard?
They are assigned to certain areas. We kind of divide it up. Denise handles mainly the office, and then we have 2 officers that pretty much are split amongst the city. I've kind of enforced them to, or asked them to kind of overlap, just for security reasons sometimes, like fiber hospital issues we've had there. You know, so they are mainly in their own area, but they are overlapping a little bit to help each other out. There's quite a lot going on, so.
Okay, final question. In regards to, like, parking, do you handle parking, illegal parking, parking lots? That kind of stuff, if I'm a resident and I want to call you, what should be my concern?
Technically, that would go to the police department, depending on where it's at. Now, if it's on the property, then that would be something that we would go and investigate and ask them to either remove it, register it, or go down that road.
The non-emergency police number, right?
What's that? Non-emergency?
Non-emergency police number. We don't want to call the police.
Correct. A non-emergency, yes.
All right, finally, do they do a daily report or a weekly report on what they've done?
We run reports, every month we're running reports. I'm running them pretty much every week. We're up probably close to 40 or 50 at the moment from last year. Some of that report that I kind of gave you guys, it's mainly, I would say about 239 we're at right now somewhere. I think we're up almost at least 40 or 50 more. And it's not to be hard on the residents, but we're just trying to clean up the city.
No doubt about it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Through the chair? Yeah. Andy?
Yes, ma'am.
Being new,
Yeah.
has BSNA helped with that, with keeping the rental properties current as far as, getting their inspections and?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it helps tremendously. There is a program that we would like to get for BSNA. It's called the PZE process. It's for planning, zoning, enforcement. It kind of handles that. So down the road, that would be another addition that we'd like to add, but at the moment, it's working real well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So I know you and I talked when you were in my office. We talked about the booklet that went out a couple of years ago, and we had little town halls in different areas of the city.
Yes.
Is there something you plan on doing to educating the citizens about what's going to be coming in the next month or so as far as neighborhoods and businesses and the blight and how we're going to go in and we're going to enforce the cleanups?
Yes. As of right now, we're trying to use Facebook and some other forms of social media to get it out. As I just started, I'm still working on some of them. We just started with the vacant structures as well as some of the rentals, and we'll be working on especially the alleys with dumpsters and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a process. I just don't know when will be the first meeting if we were to have a town hall, but it wouldn't be bad to have one so we could all get the residents on the same page.
Just something that, we need to let them know that this is the standard, this is what we are looking for, and, it's spring, it's time to start cleaning it up.
We did put out, Madam Mayor, one about grass to let everybody know that, noxious weeds and that is part of our zoning and that we will be enforcing it, just to give residents a heads up as we're going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No? Okay, well, thank you, Andy.
All right, appreciate it.
This time, we're going to go into citizens' communications. Please identify yourself. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Richard Kudrak. I'm going to piggyback on Council President's. He's talking about infrastructure work in a city that was not done for many years. I call it decades. Maybe I'm wrong, but I listen to John Kazoo's reports out here, and I don't know. There's no way in the world our infrastructure could ever be as bad as it is today and as expensive it is today if it was not ignored for many, many years, and it's residents today who are going to pay for it. That's what Councilwoman Ross just mentioned. Anyway, let's talk about service lines. I get letters from 2 companies, Service Line Warranties of America, who sent me 6 letters. That's the one with the seal of the city of Lincoln Park on the envelope, which should never happen again, and another one. They both offer water line service. I don't know if either one of them offers sanitary, but the council president mentioned my homeowner's insurance offers me free, included, $5,000 worth of service line coverage. At an absolutely minimal increase in premium, I got $15,000 worth of coverage. Residents should understand that it is possible that their homeowner's insurance could offer them a lot better deal than these 2 for-profit companies who are working in Lincoln Park trying to sell this insurance. I wouldn't trust either one of them. I have a feeling that the first thing you're going to do is try to figure out some way they can deny your claim. I'd rather work with my insurance agent, my insurance company, than either one of these 2 for-profit companies. Thank you so much.
Anybody else like to address this?
Doing this because I knew you wanted to hear from me again. Oh, you got it. Mayor and Council, John Kazoo. No. I just wanted to, with the weather getting warmer, just wanted to let everybody know what is starting, and it's going to get rougher here in the city, unfortunately. Whoop! Don't let me lose my ink pen. Right now, presently, we they're starting what I want to refer to as our mill and fill, which is going to be our asphalt work. Today, they started out milling Liberty between Fort Park and Howard. They also did Michigan between Abbott and Porter Street. Tomorrow, they're going to be doing Mill Street between Ferris and Wilson. And that's just the milling. They'll have to come back, do any concrete repairs that have to be made, and then the asphalt bituminous paving. We have another contractor. We have a lot of utility repairs, such as where we had to dig up a concrete road or maybe somebody's approach or sidewalk resulted of a water main break. We've got quite a list of those, and they actually started those yesterday, and they will be proceeding basically all summer long on a lot of those. So therefore, there's two contractors that are on board right now. We have another contractor that started today on the 7, I'm going to call them the DDA roadways that are going to be removed and replaced. They're going to start from here on out to get those done. Emmons and Lincoln pump stations, those have been under construction now since about February, and they're still going hot and heavy. We have one company that is cleaning and lining sanitary sewers. We have another company that is cleaning and televising sanitary sewers. We've got two contractors that are installing lead services simultaneously. We have one water main contractor who's doing water main replacement here within the corridor of City Hall, plus lead services. We have a contractor that's going to have to be doing some what we call sanitary point repairs. We have another contractor that has not yet started, and they're going to be sectioning roadways, concrete roadways. Then we have the same contractor, once we come to a realization of which concrete roadways we're going to be doing removal and replacement, they're going to be coming into town. And then next Wednesday, we have a bid out for bid, and we're going to be receiving prices on redoing 3 City Hall parking lots. So I don't know if you've kept count, but that's like 14 contractors in the city simultaneously. So it will be tough. Thank you very much. Any questions?
That was good, John.
Remove him from the next report.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to address this body?
Hi, Leslie Lynch Wilson. So, in honor of the centennial of the City of Lincoln Park Preservation Alliance will hold a petunia seed sale on Saturday, April 26, 2025, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the parking lot of the Lincoln Park Historical Museum. The petunia has been the city flower since Monday, February 6, 1939, when the Lincoln Park Mayor and City Council passed a resolution to adopt the petunia as a city flower at the request of the Lincoln Park Women's Club. The resolution read that whereas the Lincoln Park Women's Club has requested this Mayor and City Council to designate an official flower of the City of Lincoln Park, therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council does hereby designate the petunia as the official flower of the city. The yeas were Councilmember Russell J. Comer, Winifred Crowley, Clyde Johnston, William Ropp, Russell White, and Mayor Jasper Howard. Absent was Councilmember George Shanley. So the seed packets will be $5 each, or 5 packets for $20. The seed packets are part of the Antique Series by the Page Seed Company, and they will generate flowers that bloom in a colorful mixture of white, pink, salmon scarlet, dark blue, azure blue, and rose. And from their website, it says, petunias are the most popular and widely used summer flowering annual. And the multiflora variety is compact, holds up better to rain and water than any larger flowering types. And as part of the centennial celebration, we will also hold a best petunia garden contest this summer. So be sure to come on February, geez. I do like snow, but come on. Saturday, April 26th, 2 to 6 p.m. at the museum parking lot and buy your centennial seeds. Thank you.
Anyone else like to address the body? And then we'll go into oral reports of the mayor and council. I just want to report on the Public Safety Commission. They had a meeting last week, was it last week? 2 weeks ago. And I was honored to swear in my first officer. It was very wonderful. I got a little emotional. I couldn't help myself, but I'd like to welcome Officer Hernandez to Lincoln Park. And Officer Hernandez is a Lincoln Park graduate, grew up here, and he is now a police officer. So, welcome. Other than that, we'll start with President Celsi.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one quick thing. Carrie Kerr, the first time I met you, you were in charge of Little League baseball, and you did the grad sales, and I dropped my envelope in your thing so I can get a sign. So you've always been very cordial and knowledgeable. I come to you every now and then for advice, and you're always solid on that, so I appreciate that. So well-deserved decoration.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Lillian?
Thank you. ZBA did meet on March the 20th. There is a child care business going in at the old, I think it was a credit union over by the creek, 411 Fort Street. So their variance petition was granted. So I know they have a long way to go, but they're on their way. I forgot to grab my happenings. I hope everybody got their happenings. It looks so good, and the color is amazing. It really just brings it out. So keep your happenings handy because there is a lot going on. And so with that, I want to thank the Parks and Rec Department for putting that together. And then the Wayne County is looking for Meals on Wheels volunteers. So there's going to be some flyers like this on our website and Facebook. So if you want more information, it is the Meals on Wheels for the county. They say they have over 34 communities in the Wayne County and Downriver area that they need like 200 more volunteers. So if you're interested, and that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Tracy?
Well, the flowers are blooming, the trees are budding. It's a beautiful season in Michigan until tomorrow. Mother Nature has jokes. Everybody keep your warm gear ready, but start getting your summer clothes out. I just want to wish everyone a happy Easter holiday and good night and God bless.
Jason?
I would also like to congratulate our city clerk, Carrie, for her many, many years of extremely dedicated service to the city of Lincoln Park and all the very valuable advice you've always been willing to give, particularly for those of us that are somewhat new on council. At the Library Commission meeting, they do have their spring book sale coming up, Saturday, May 3rd, until the following Saturday, May 10th, by the Friends of the Library. They told me they are still accepting donations for it at the time of this meeting. They have done a couple of kids programs that I know about. They did a first of its kind kids story time with the therapy dog, which they said was a very big success. It was they said it was attended by like 25 kids or so, and they did their third Nerf event, which, as you can imagine, the kids probably loved that. So the library is going in full swing. And then I just like to point out to this beautiful Lincoln Park Police tumbler that I did purchase a couple weeks ago in support of Autism Awareness Month. The proceeds do go to benefit the Mixter Institute of Transitioning Special Ed and the ASD program at the high school. They are I did confirm they are still available at the police station. You can email the Sergeant Sean Nicholas. He's the community police officer. I always appreciate a heads up when if people would like to purchase these. They are $20 a piece, and they are a very nice way to show pride in our city. And yes, I hope this warm weather stays and we can all enjoy spring from here on out. Thank you.
Jason.
All righty, I got a couple things here. First off, the Community Improvement Commission did have a meeting. We went over the posters for the annual garden walk, which is August 9th. Starts off at the Historical Museum at 9 o'clock. That is August 9th, 9 a.m. at the Historical Museum. We're going to be doing a park cleanup May 17th, which is the day before the Memorial Day Parade. That's going to be 9 to 1. That is going to be at the Memorial Park. Going to get it all spick and span ready to go for our annual parade. We're going on 12 or 13 years of that parade, which is a nice little show for everybody. Kids love it. They get candy, get to run around, have a good time with their family. It's really nice to see everybody out there. Hopefully it won't be 100 degrees like it's been. The assessor's office is in their auditing season right now. I talked with Katie this morning, and last year they actually got a perfect score on their audit, so they are striving again for year number 2 of a perfect audit. Along with the Historical Museum, we May 8th, Roaring 20s in honor of our 100 years. Normal tickets are $40. If you are a member of the Historical Society, that would be $30 a ticket. 6 to 9 at the high school. Tickets are required in advance purchase. So go to the museum on Wednesday or Saturday between 1 and 6, and go ahead and get your ticket. Go out and have some fun. They're going to have a contest. They're going to be dancing. 1920s, we're going to have the Dawn Giblin Quintet out there singing and dancing with us. So come on out and have a good time. Show your support for the city. Show your support for the museum, because they definitely need it. So thank you guys. Bless. Have a great night.
That I will call for adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.